Hi, my name is Anthony Stenberg from Morgan Hill Art School. I'm working today with Santa Clara County Public Library System to create some videos on different options to create art at your house. Today I have a drawing project to show you, and before we get going I wanted to share the screen here. It's based off of a particular artist, and I'll share that with you in just a moment. Okay, so the artist is Yayoi Kusama. She was from Japan that I'm going to base this little drawing off of. If you just do a Google search, you'll see a lot of information for her. That's a picture of her now. She's 91 years old. She's still alive. She still works a lot. She's obsessed with polka dots, and you can see that here, obsessed with polka dots, obsessed with polka dots. If we do a quick little image search, you'll see quite a bit about her. Very expensive, very valuable for her works. She did stuff for like Louis Vuitton and so on. Let's go back. I want to see that. Anyhow, here's a lot of her works as well. As you can see, dots and polka dots all over the place. Sometimes it's like, it might be a room with mirrors in it. This is a room with mirrors and lights. She did LED lights, another one like that as well, where she's got these blow-up images. You might see one with all these, this is all the eternal love I have for the pumpkins. So that's all kinds of pumpkins she did. Sometimes she does abstract artworks as well that you can see there that are in different museums. And there she is there. She often photographs herself in her work, as you can see, and she is part of the artwork. Very famous and very popular artist right now. She's probably the top-selling female artist in the world. Now for this drawing, you'll have a variety of options that you can use. I have a bucket of sharpies here, real markers if that's what you have, some pastels here, with lots of crayons. These are like gel markers that would be good to paint, works fine. Chalk pastels are pretty good, but you got to be a little bit careful with the chalks because they might move around a lot on you. We're going to be doing a lot of circles on this drawing, so I have a variety of objects that I can use as circles. Just like a mason jar, lid, an actual mason jar itself has a couple different circle options I can have. There's like 3 just based off of this. It's a different, like a lid, bowls and stuff. Anything like that will work. As an art school person, I have a little bit more these different things. So the circle templates I recommend if you're into using drawing a lot. These are nice tools to have. So here what I've done is I've created a drawing using these different circles. I've laid them on top, overlapped them using different sizes. One thing I like to keep in mind of is I like to overlap them, but then I don't like the circles to be too close to each other. I like them to be overlapped, opposed to like starting a circle right on that edge right there where it's like really close right next to that circle. I try to avoid that. That's called tension in art, and that's not really the way you want to go. Overlapping things. As you can see, I've done a lot of patterns. I'm using thin and thick lines as well. So I'll kind of show you really quickly how I set that up. Yeah, I just have like a drawing paper here. Any white paper would do. So again, I'm going to start by creating circles all over the paper. Again, I like to overlap these. I start with like the same one usually and just kind of spread them around. Larger ones, of course. And then I start filling in the other spaces with the smaller circles. So I'll start large and then work my way smaller. I do that with all the shapes that I draw with. Okay, so now I have many, many circles drawn on my paper. If you just have like one color to work with at this point, you can start putting polka dots all over the place, which I'll start doing now, filling these in with dots. You can have, use multiple colors as well. I'll be going over this with sharpies and other colors, but again, remember the other options I showed you at the beginning of the video. I like these types of drawings because you don't need to have a whole lot of drawing experience to do it. They're pretty highly intuitive. I think your brain kind of sets in, and everybody's got their own concept of design based on experience. So your brain will start taking over and telling you what things look good and where to move things and so on. And just kind of go with that. It's a very relaxing type of drawing, so these are good stress reducers. And that's what Kusama uses it for as well. It helps her get through the day. It's just a person, and helps her stay more calm in her life. And it brings joy to her too. And these are pretty fun to do. I like doing them. They're really fun. And I'll pause the video now, and you'll see when I come back there'll be a lot more color. Okay, then as I'm drawing, I like to do these circles within circles as well. So I'm trying to create patterns. There's design kind of rules as well that are, it's rules of 3. So if you do something once, you really want to do it like 3 times. So as you can see, I did my green and black, 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 green and black. So I have a few times there. I put the pinks around, at least 3 times to create this rhythm effect here. I like doing circles within circles like this. I feel it adds a lot of depth to the work, and it's just working within the patterns that I've already established. So it's not like having to create more patterns. I'm just kind of working on top of these ones that I've already created. So I'll continue with this and then show you a little bit more. You can do like 3. I might put a little dot on the inside of these, or go around maybe the pink with a little orange there. Okay. And again, I'll show you a little more in a moment. Okay, so here you can see here I started adding more circles, more of those circles within the circles. I started going over them with black. I'd probably now start going on to the outsides and putting more circles around there. See where else I can fill in spaces and create contrast. So again, contrast of black and white, dark and light. Here's the a more completed version. Okay, like the one I showed you at the beginning. So even with this, I have thin and thick lines, a lot of different circles overlapping, patterns all over the place. I'd probably put some more work maybe in these areas, maybe a little bit more in here, these kind of areas that are a little bit more open. Okay, like her infinity rooms that I showed you earlier, you can do the same type of effect and have a similar effect to hang up on your wall. Imagine this as huge paper. This is a type of paper that's readily available. You can pick it up online if you'd like, or at art stores. I think Walmart might sell it. I don't know. But anyhow, it's Fadeless art paper. You can get this in black. It's like poster paper. I think this would be really cool to hang up on a wall and do the same technique with, and you can hang it up in your room or something. That would be really fun. Anyhow, this you can work with like tempera paint or thinned out watercolor paint. Can't be too thick because it's not the thickest of paper, but it can take a little bit of paint. So with this project, I start with a black paper or dark paper. If you don't have black, you can use like a dark paper. I have these liquid gel pens. I also find that oil pastels work quite well on this. Crayons are another option, although they're a little bit tougher to work with because they're wax. The oil works pretty nicely, and these are also another tool that a lot of people have. A lot of kids will have. I'm trying to create a movement going downwards. So as you can see, when I'm making these little dots, right? I can go really quick with the oil pastel and just start dotting, dot, 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 all the way down, right? And creating this light, all this bright light. So it's like those little LEDs that she had. And same thing here. I like doing circles within circles. So I'll find like maybe white. And now I can go around this with white and make these larger, 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 larger. Okay. Bright colors work the best, right? Like, if I put this red down, can't really see it. But this purple is quite a bit lighter. This I can see. And even that's pretty dark. That's a tough color to see. But then I can highlight it around, maybe with some yellow around that. Put some yellows here. Start making patterns just like we did on the previous artwork too, where you can just, do the same thing, repetitive strokes there. That's creating a lot of light going down. So I'm going to pause this momentarily, and then I'm going to start working with the gel pens as well, and you'll see my progress in a moment. Okay, so now I'm starting to work with these gel rollers. These are metallic gel rollers that you can find at like Staples and places like that. And again, I like to use these for the circles within circles. One thing I noticed about the gel rollers is that I don't want to press too hard. It seems like the fibers from the paper can clog the ink and prevent it from flowing evenly and smoothly. Another thing I noticed is that it dries a little bit darker than when it first goes on. So I often will go over it several times to get the value or the lightness of yellow that I'm looking for. So I can see now, they're starting to brighten up on me, for me, but still, I may want to go back over those a couple times. And again, gotta avoid words. If I'm using multiple materials, you know, I want to avoid where I colored with the oil pastels or the waxes, because those waxes will interfere with this as well and cause the your pens to clog. So be aware of that too. You can, you know, go both back and forth with the two medias, but the two tools, but make sure that your pens are staying away from like wax crayons or oil pastels. They'll mess them up. Sharpies, same thing. So again, now I can, you know, maybe start grabbing some of these oil pastels. Now I'm just going back over there and kind of get these a little brighter. Again, I like circles within circles of 3, 4, 5, 6 circles. It just creates a lot of light. I'm getting a lot of bright light there, so now I think I need to start putting some more of this lighter color here to make sure that it's kind of flows, right? I don't want a really bright streak there, and then what's around it's really dark. I want to kind of flow evenly. I don't have to go all the way down, but just marks, you know what I'm saying? Just a little bit there. Just let it flow. And I'll go fill these in maybe with little white dots. Okay. And go in between maybe with some yellows. And make some patterns. And then I'm just going to continue. Perhaps I can create a cluster down here at the bottom where they all come together. And then I would just continue with this same process, okay? Okay, so now I'm just doing like little clusters down here, and I think of this as like that previous drawing. It's just really relaxing, you know, very calming. It's just repetitive, you know, I'm just doing repetitive circles, kind of thinking about where I want them to go, spreading them out. I know I don't just want this all to be pink down here, so I'll probably go on top of another color, perhaps blue. Be a good choice there, yeah. Again, I like going over them. Like the multiple circles around. I think it adds a lot more depth to the piece or the artwork. And yeah, I just continue with this, little circles everywhere, right? So I do this over and over, repetitive, right? And again, this should be like very relaxing. Let's go larger, super big, make patterns, right? Again, I like to go back over them several times. Then you can see these colors are getting brighter and brighter and brighter. Each time I do this, it gets brighter and brighter and brighter. This is with the gel pen, so it's going to take a bit longer with the gel pen than it would with the oil pastel. Because right, with the oil pastel, I can just mark, and it goes really quick. The problem with the oil pastel, though, is that you don't get really clean circles, but that's okay. You know, we're creating light, basically, right? So I'd continue this, you know, that same process there, going with different colors, you know, maybe some yellow around this guy here. So I'm thinking of light colors, contrasting colors around these two. That's going to help out. So it's important, you know, I would recommend looking at a color wheel. So I said contrasting colors, like complementary colors. So if you want to research a color wheel on your own, you can do that, and you'll get some color theory practice there. They'll give you some suggestions of colors that go good together, color schemes that you can work with. It's not just like random. I am kind of thinking about what I want these to look like. I do have an idea of what the result's going to be based on the colors I'm using. Since I have you know, quite a bit of experience with color, so I know what's going to happen when I put this color near another color, and that's all experience and to practice that. It's the color theory. Find like, you know, color wheels. Research a color wheel on the computer, and here's the you know, more completed version of it. Again, you can see I'm using dark and light colors, well, mostly light colors, but I do have some darker ones that are kind of blending more into the black paper. And then I'm contrasting those with a lot of whites all over the place, so yellows, some light blues, greens, but there's a lot of patterns going on, and I didn't get too crazy with the colors. There's just a few colors that I used over and over again. And there you go. That would be a really fun project. Remember, it's Yayoi Kusama. You can look her up and practice other projects that she does. Have a great one. And thank you again. I'm Anthony Stenberg from Morgan Hill Art School, and thank you to the Santa Clara County Public Library for letting me put this video on for you. So we have the two drawings that we just showed you here, completed versions of the first, and there's our second. And I'll have other videos to show you guys in the future. Have a good one. Thank you so much.